Welcome back to Vintage Steel Garage. I've not done a video for a while because I've had some other projects to do which aren't really car related, but they're over now. I've waited till it's got cold again and that's the time to work in the workshop. Ignore this, it's nobody. Just get that, nobody. Anyway, so what we're going to be working on today, you can't see it, Ditsy, the Fiat 500. My daughter's come home from uni and she's got a bit of a problem with the exhaust blowing, and what we mean by the exhaust blowing is you sort of hear it like a bit of a rasp, a bit of a from the front end, and what's happened is there's a flexible unit there, pipe, that's split. So you can see this is the part that's blowing here. Basically this is a flexible joint, so when the engine's moving this side it allows for a little bit of movement without moving the whole exhaust system, but they are prone to go and they don't last forever. And to be honest, when I replaced the gearbox it did look a bit suspect, so obviously it's fully failed now and you can see it's split and blowing there. And another symptom of this is it's got a loss of power. You can see it's split all the way around there. I think you can there. So what you can do, you can buy a replacement exhaust section which replaces from the front bit here all the way back down to the back box. Just started to rain, that's just great. As I was saying, you can actually buy a full exhaust system and they vary in costs from probably about £36 to £150 off eBay, and you get what you pay for. And even the dearest ones, the flexible joints, they're not really the best quality. So what I've done, where's nobody? Oh, he's there again, he's probably going to help me in a bit. What I've done is I've bought just the actual flexible unit, which I'll show you. And this company, okay, you buy it through eBay, but all they make is flexible joints for exhaust. So they're not really going to sell you a load of crap, are they? So this is a replacement here. So you can see it's a little bit longer. Looks a little bit better inside as well, actually, from the convolutes in the tube. And you can actually get them custom made, so you can have either the sizes that you need either end. Now I'm told this will fit a Fiat 500. I did get to check the measurements. They do custom make them, so you can see there it's got my name on it and the sizes. So it's 52 at one end, 48 at the other. That's internal diameter. So let's see if we can get the exhaust off and see if this will fit, first of all onto the manifold size and then onto the exhaust side. So all we should need is a 13mm spanner at this end, he says simply, to take this old clamp off. May have to take the back box off to actually get enough movement to push the exhaust back, I don't know. I think what I'm going to do, I'll just take this clamp, push this out of the way and see if we can get this moving. No such luck. Okay, this should see it off. There we go. So you can see that wasn't far for braking. Being stubborn. So. Come on! Oh, it's getting ugly now. Yay! Let's see if this one fits. Oh, thank God for that. Oh, that fits there, but don't fit here. Let's get the old measuring doodads. I'll tell you what we've got. So that's 44.1. The outside of that is 46.6, and the inside, well, according to this, is 43. 43.7. 44. So it's not going to go in. I think I've come to the conclusion, as much as I'd like this exhaust to fit, and I have tried to splay it open here very slightly by heating it up and putting a socket in it, I can't really hammer it in because obviously this part here is flexible, so I can't get any purchase on it, and I can't hit the exhaust at the other end because I'm going to damage this flexible joint. So as much as I don't want to, I'm going to have to take the whole exhaust system off, cut off these tabs here and weld the exhaust all the way around. But if I'd measured the exhaust properly, email the company, it's not the company's fault, they will make it to the size you specify. I just took their word that this was the one for the Fiat 500, and of course differences in aftermarket exhaust, you can't always be guaranteed. They don't know what, you know, there's millions of, no, there's not millions, there's hundreds of companies making exhaust for a Fiat 500, so they can't guarantee it's always going to fit. So the best thing is always to measure it. So there's your life lesson for today. Measure the outside diameter of that, make sure it matches the inside diameter of theirs, and you won't be doing what I'm doing now, which is taking the full exhaust off to weld it on. So let me get the exhaust off, get it in the garage, and then I'll show you me welding it on. I've now got the back of the car jacked up. There's the exhaust at the back. Because this was a replacement back box I put on, there's actually a split here, so I've actually undone that now, and that's moving. So I just need to take that one rubber mount off there in the middle, and the exhaust should come down. So let's see if we can get that down. Exhaust out. So here's the old one. I don't think it's the original. In fact, I know it's not the original because there was a receipt for replacement exhaust. You'd only get a couple of years out there, maybe 3 or 4 years at most. This wasn't a particularly good one, so that is now scrap, and it'll be replaced with this. Now, as I say before, I probably should have measured it a bit more carefully and got one exactly the right size at this end, and I haven't. Now, if this was just a straight tube, we could probably put a mandrel in there, which is a taper thing, heat it up, drive that in, it would enlarge the tube just that 1/2 mil, and that would probably work. But because this is a convoluted tube in here, concertina tube I should say, what we don't want to do is burying that on the bench and smashing it on the top and damage it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just cut it off round there and weld it onto the exhaust. I'm going to show you a tip how to mark it so you can cut it nice and neat. Now the tip for cutting it nice and neat, is basically some masking tape. So what you want to do, rather than just trying to start sawing, because you're bound to saw on an angle, put some tape on, run the tape round, keeping it nice and square, and you want it to join up perfectly with the bit you started with, and if it doesn't, you know it's not square, and that will do for cutting that. Now the other tip, it will get hot when you start to grind it, so what I would do is run a line down with a Sharpie as a backup. Do this on the exhaust as well. So that's that one marked up. I'll do the same on here. I don't want to cut too much off this because I don't want to lose too much length. There we go. Mark this and then cut this with the angle grinder. or hacksaw. Do you want to do it the old fashioned way? Let's get rid of that before we can't get it off. There we go. Right, let's get cutting. Now you'll have noticed before when I was cutting the exhaust off upside down with the power saw, I was a bit naughty and I didn't actually have my safety glasses on. So always have your safety glasses on, ear defenders if possible, and glasses. Glasses? Gloves. Right, let's cut this. Nice cut. What I need to do now is just get this aligned so I can weld it up. I'm probably just going to do this by eye, to be honest. So I'm ready to weld this together, and what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to eyeball it on the end because it is pretty square up. He says give it a bit of a tack and then take a look at that. Take a look at that, see if it looks square. And then weld it all the way around. Which of course it doesn't. Change of plan, I'm welding it in the vise. I'm not showing you this weld. Okay, it's welded on. It's not the prettiest of welds and it's definitely not my best, and it is on camera, so that's a bit embarrassing. So I'll just show it you and you can tell me what you think. There, the weld's behind here, it's beautiful. So the main thing is, it's attached. Look, it's not coming off. There. So let's get this back under the car and pop it on the manifold. Boo! Now this kit for £26 came with some exhaust paste and 2 clamps. Obviously the idea was there would be a clamp there and a clamp there. Oh yeah, whoops, a clamp there. Obviously I don't need that clamp there, but that's the right size to use at the other end. So let's get it on the car. The exhaust is just back underneath the car ready. I'm going to put some assembly paste on this end here, get this in, get it back on the hanger and get the other end on. So let's see if we can just get the camera positioned so you can see what's going on. Just going to put a ring of paste around the exhaust. Slide this in, put the exhaust hanger back on. Hopefully you can see me there. I'm just going to leave that one loose because I can use it to align the exhaust at the back to make sure it's not cockeyed. Right, so we're going to go to the front end. So just going to do the same this end. Just assembly paste around here. Get plenty on. There we go. Put the clamp on like that. Just check the back box. I'm just going to check the back box now, line that up and nip those bolts up, and I'll be back in a minute. So I've replaced the exhaust now. It sounds better already, but what I'm going to do, I left it for about 20 minutes. I'm just going to let it run for about 5-10 minutes just there, check that there's no leaks underneath, and also just let that exhaust cement warm up and solidify. So I'm going to keep it on the stands for the time being and see how it goes on. So just while we're waiting for that, I mean, just to let you know, really any of you can do this, it's easy to do. I'd seen on eBay that the exhaust itself was between £36 and £150. Now, as I say before, at £36 you're not going to get a good quality exhaust. What I decided to do instead is pay £26 and buy just the flex pipe. Now obviously I made a slight mistake and got the wrong size and had to weld it on. But if you were careful and measured it first, you'd get the correct size. We could have cut it and just sleeved it and not have to take the back box off. And if we exclude the welding equipment, all you would need is basically a 13mm spanner, some axle stands and a trolley jack, and you could have done it yourself for £26 and save, I don't know what a garage is going to cost, I didn't even check. It must be somewhere between £100 and £150, and you sit there for 2 hours while they do it. I've done it on my drive myself, it's taken me an hour, and that included welding it, and that solved that problem. So we'll go for a little test run, and hopefully that will have solved the blown exhaust and restored a little bit of the lost power, because when you've got a split exhaust, especially that near the manifold, you get hardly any back pressure and you lose a lot of power from that point of view. So hope this has been helpful to you. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, and there'll be more videos. Now I'm back into my winter mode of fixing cars, probably next job working on the BMW 320 Touring. Thanks for watching, bye.